Have you ever thought to yourself, who do I travel with? What do I do when I get there? Where do I travel to first? When is the best time to travel? And how in the world can I afford all this? Well, I'll give you the top 5 answers to the top 5 most commonly asked questions. So stay tuned. Question number 1. Who do I travel with? It's the most common question because a lot of people don't travel because other people don't want to travel with them. They'll send out the invites to their friends, to their families, close ones, and nobody wants to join. Well, I've been in your same shoes, and what I did was I finally just said, hey, I'm just gonna go for it, right? Do a solo trip, try it yourself. It is always fun to go with people, but when you do a solo trip, you're gonna meet a lot of people along the way. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna meet new friends, international friends, learn about their culture, their trips, their travels. You would never have that if you were to just go with a friend. You would only be focused on talking with that friend and nobody else. So going on a solo trip really gives you that opportunity to really meet new people. And it's a great experience. It really changed my life, and I'm sure it will change your life as well. Question number 2, what do I do when I get there, right? Obviously, there's hundreds of countries, thousands of cities. You're most likely going to go to a place you haven't been to before, right? Well, what I always did when I traveled, the same thing. I had no idea what to do. So what I did was I went into Google, my best friend, and I would type in points of interest and then the city that I was in. And if it was a really big country, I would type in the country and then I would minimize it to the city that I would go to. And all the points of interest pop up that show what there is to do in that city. So you scroll through that, see which ones you like the most, and you can actually base your accommodation around those as well. So let's say you want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, right? So what you would do is see where it's located, see if that's your interest, and you can book your accommodation to make it close so that way you can walk to it or use public transportation, right? And it also gives you an idea of what you want to do. So what I always did was once I figured out what I wanted to do, I plugged it in YouTube to see on site what it actually looked like in person, right? To really get me even more excited for when I were to go see it. And that's what I did to figure out basically what to do when I got there. Question number 3 is, where do I travel to first? So many places out there, right? So what I always did was I followed a lot of social media that involved traveling, a lot of people that were traveling to all these countries, and a lot of people that were on YouTube that had some great content about traveling. And I would see something like the beach or clear waters or animals or something super fun, and I would jump on. I was like, where is that? And then I go Googling, and then I would doing more research. So just surround yourself with people who like to travel and different social media sites, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, things of that sort, Facebook, to give you really a broad spectrum and see if it does spark your interest. Question number 4. When is the best time to travel? There's always something going on. You got the friends and kids and work, and there's always something going on. So when are you really going to make time? Well, the best time to do it is now, right? If you have just a little bit of free time, take some time off. You don't want to wait until you're 65 years old and have ailments in a wheelchair. You want to do it now when you're in your prime, whether you're early 20s, 30s, even your 40s or 50s. You want to do it. You want to feel good. You want to remember your good time. So do it now. If you have a couple $1,000s, you don't need millions of dollars to travel. Just a couple $1,000. Go on your trip, and I'll have plenty of other videos to show you about that. I have a lot of great information in my book, How to Become an Experienced Traveler in One Day. It's a real easy read, has great information. I give you about 20 different very helpful, extremely helpful tips. And if you like all this information, travel over to the subscribe button. Question number 5 is, how do I afford this? All this information is great information, but Cody, I can't afford this. Well, newsflash, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. And I didn't get a trust fund, right? So the best way to do this is not what you know, it's who you know. So what you need to do, go on a flight and really get to know the flight attendant or the pilot, somebody that's within the airline industry, because they get flight benefits, right? So you can fly all around the US for free. So wherever you meet these people, the domestic is most likely free and the international is significantly discounted, such as only paying the taxes on international and things of that sort. So really get to know flight attendants and people in the flight industry. And it's cool actually to hear their stories because they can actually come with you and you have a friend, right? Also, you want to do is use budget-friendly apps. So like couch surfing, I had nothing but great experiences with couch surfing. What that is you stay at another person's house that's in the city and they stay at your house when they're in your city. So it's kind of like a friend in the city that can show you around and you could stay at his place for free. So it's incredible. I've never had a bad experience. It was nothing but good times. And I'll put more videos up to talk about couch surfing and how the app works and what you can expect. And also you have Airbnb, but that's if you want to spend a little bit more. But they do have some affordable ones. When I went to third world countries, I would use Airbnb because the value would be incredible. Hostelworld was really good as well. I'll put up some videos about how to use Hostelworld as well. What that is hostel. It's kind of like beds in a dorm, right? So you can have anywhere from 4 beds up to 24 beds in one room, right? So obviously it's going to be a lot less than a huge 1 bedroom. But the cool thing about hostels is some of them have 1 bedroom. So you can have 1 bed and it's significantly cheaper, right? So I did that a lot because I really value my sleep and I'm going to have a long day. So that's what I recommend. Use those different budget apps. Use things like Skyscanner. If you don't know somebody in the airline industry, Skyscanner is a really big discounted airline. And then you just book your flight directly with the airline, right? And I have different videos that will go through how to do all that. But those are the top 5 answers to the top 5 most commonly asked questions. Now, if you have any other questions that you'd like me to talk about, drop a comment below and travel over to the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.